What does God want you to do? It's not what you want to do, it's what does God want you to do? And this was a statement that was put to me by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, one of the greats when it comes to really understanding the concept of building wealth and not sitting around and waiting for a paycheck, or some call it a handout. And it was interesting. I was in Phoenix, it was in 2017, and I was sat down in this massive studio with about 25 different people there. I remember one of the assistants came over and said, "Would you like something to drink?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd like a Diet Coke." And they had a little microphone and they said, "Talent needs a Diet Coke. Talent needs a Diet Coke." And I was like, "Oh, wow, this is very professional. I'm the talent." And I sat down with Robert. We spoke for 2 hours. This interview has been watched, I think, 40, 50 million times. Sometimes I catch it on YouTube and I'm speaking Russian. Someone's like dubbed it into different languages. And Robert said to me during that conversation something that stuck with me and will stick with me the rest of my life, and something I think can help you in a deep way. And he said, "Brian, I don't care what you want to do. You know, I see this younger generation and it's all about me, me, me." He said, "What you need to do is you need to go and find out what God wants you to do. What does the world need you to do? How can you be of the best service to your fellow human?" Now, this is a guy who wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? This is a guy who's got a lot of money and wealth. And you would think that he just does what he wants to do, but not true. He has a higher purpose of service to his fellow man. And I see this in almost all of the successful high-performance people that I've met, ones that have generated trillions in wealth, billions in assets, and spend millions as they please. They have this higher purpose. They have a spiritual sense to what they're doing. And that gives them this North Star. It gives them this energy, and it gives them this massive chance for success. And most of them are successful. And so if you think money and the billions and the wealth is all about getting a couple extra bucks so you can buy a couple extra Lambos, you're very, very wrong. And if you try to pursue it that way, you will very, very fail. But if you want to do it correctly and also live an incredible life at the same time, then that's the way to approach your journey of life. And I believe wealth is part of life. It's an expression of who you are, and wealth will flow to someone who is doing great things for other people and great things for themselves. It's all aligned with the congruence of your character, and it's all massively intertwined. People think that wealth isn't spiritual. I massively disagree. It is. Matter of fact, if you are ultimately connected and congruent to your higher purpose, wealth should flow to you, and from you it flows out to others. The more money you can make, the more people you can affect, the greater life you can live. And worst case, you can always give it away. So there's so many aspects. It goes back to one of my favorite lines in the movie Wall Street, which, by the way, that movie is pretty much can explain anything in life. But Fox says to his dad, "There's no nobility in poverty, not anymore." And it's true. This whole concept that you have to be poor to be noble is wrong. It's lazy. It's selfish to walk around with that mentality. You should generate abundance around you and have it for all around you, and have a North Star that has a higher purpose. And when you do that, wealth will flow to you. So those are my thoughts on the day. I've been thinking a lot about this lately because I'm putting together a curriculum for my Wealth Academy, which starts shortly, where I'm going to be taking a small group of people and expanding their consciousness, reprogramming their brain, trying to unplug from the matrix and get into that wealth mindset. Because the older I get, I realize that getting wealthy is not about picking the right crypto or getting the right funnel or creating the right digital product or buying the right stock. It's really a mindset. And if you don't have it, you will never be wealthy, no matter what other devices that you use. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to understand those other things too, because you can't meditate on a mountain and have it come to you. But the mindset is actually more important. So if you're interested in that, hit me up on Instagram at @TheRealBrianRose. DM me the word wealth. Head over to learnreal.tv/wealth if you want to learn more. I just did a 90-minute free masterclass all about this, so check it out. Learn and find a way to change your brain, and it will change your game. And you can really bring wealth into your life in so many aspects and live a completely different life as to one of just scarcity and stress and anxiety. It's not worth it, and nobody has to live that way. If you do, it's your choice. Now you have a choice to change it, so do it.